Hey everybody, today we have a BenQ HT2150 to look at. I actually picked this up on eBay under parts repair. USPS shipped it, so it took, a year and a half to get to States. And then when it arrived, unfortunately USPS had also played football with it and managed to thoroughly smash the front. There's one piece of plastic you can see right here. They just made a mess out of it. Kind of annoyed, but what are you gonna do? I really want to support USPS. The current postmaster is just awful. So I'm hoping that's all it is. If everything else is okay, then I can probably repair this. Like, I should be able to, well, I gotta be careful how you do this, but I should be able to realign and glue everything. There'll be 2 cracks on the front, but everything else should be okay. Now, originally I bought it because the picture would go rainbow, was the description, and then I think it would turn off. So I suspect it's something in the color wheel circuit. It did come with a remote and cables and all that, so and the price was very fair. The owner, or the seller I should say, was very cool about the damage. When I reported it, they offered to refund me and all that, so not on them at all. USPS, I mean, it could have been packed better, but people who sell their old projectors are not used to packing projectors for shipment. So it happens. I've made mistakes, everybody, whatever. I blame USPS. They should be more careful, especially since I had to open a package tracker case because they decided to ship it all over the place instead of in a direct route like they should. But whatever, rant over on USPS. First things first, before we try it out, let me get the lamp cover off. Actually, let me take the lens cover off too, because what I'm hoping I can repair it. I'd like to use it for a little bit. I've never actually had a projector of my own that was as new as one of these, so it'd be kind of nice, at least for a little bit. And then I'll sell it on for a reasonable price. These are working, going for, I don't know what they're actually selling for, but they're listing for anywhere from $500 to $800. So because of the cracks, I'd probably let it go for closer to the 500, especially since I kind of want people to be able to enjoy projectors. So we'll see. But let's see about getting it working first. And I know getting these lamp doors off are always a pain on this series. There we go. Definitely is going to need a cleaning. Let's get the, where's that tab? Let's get this cover off. There we go. Set that on the lid. Let's take a look at the lamp assembly. I'm hoping that any of the bits I heard rattling around, we can get those out. Don't want the oops, handle came off. Let's get that back in there. Alright, that's an original. Actually, the lamp doesn't look like it has too many hours on it. I don't see any spots down inside. I don't really hear anything either. That's good. So let's see, let's pop out. Actually, let me get my drill. We're gonna pop all the screws out of the bottom, take the front of the case off. Oh yeah. Let's get these out too. These front ones are probably what saved that from being totally smashed. I think this one can actually stay, but I'm going to take it out just to give me a little more flexibility. No screws in there. That's good. Pardon me. There's clips in the top. Kind of hard to see. This side might be easier to see. Yeah, like right here. See that white part? So I'm gonna see if I can come on. All right. So I know that comes off. What I'm kind of hoping is I can just push these pieces. Yeah, they'll go back into position. I'll probably be able to fix this. I mean, it's a bummer that it broke, but because it wasn't broken originally. The listing of this thing was pretty clean. All right, let me get my plastic spudger. Where did I throw that? There we go. Okay, got that side. Let's go across the back. And then, oh, that's good too. All right. And then the bottom. Let's see, this way. I know there's another clip in the front. Go from this side. I don't want to grab the damaged side if I can help it. Come on. There we go. That's always the scariest part, popping all that stuff loose. So my suspicion immediately is that we have some dust in the color wheel section. Let's disconnect the front IR. There's just a decent amount of dust buildup, as you guys can see. It's not terrible. I've seen way worse, but it's definitely enough probably to cause an issue. Let me see if I can pop this front off. Just gotta get these upper clips out of the way. It'll make re-gluing those damaged pieces a little easier. Normally I wouldn't take that off, but we're going to see what we can do about repairing all this. Let's see how it looks, because I found a piece that goes here. I don't know about that piece though. I don't see it. Oh, that might be it actually, because it all should be in here. So I got a feeling this went, let's see. Like that or something. We'll figure it out. But we'll keep that all together. And then I can glue those top bits too. So this should be actually repairable. And the rest of it doesn't look too bad. I don't see any bits of glass. Let's see, that fan moves. That fan moves. It's dirty, but it moves. That one moves. And if you look down, so if you look in here, this stuff, all that makes me think that we probably have a dirt problem, especially when we look over at the color wheel right here. Wish I could get those screws out and just, you know, without taking the whole thing. I have to take these screws out there to get the color wheel out. Really, you have to take the whole optical assembly out. But let's, you know, we probably should. Let's pop the back off. Let's give it a really good cleaning. Just a good general cleaning and see what that does. If you happen to have a HT2050, this would also apply. The back is off, and alright, let's get this one, get all these out, and then we'll go back and check everything, because we're going to take that main board out altogether. There's another one under there. We just got to get the main board out first. Disconnect fan wires. Yeah, I'll get that out of the way. I think I smell undust. Maybe not though. Good. So plug that. Plug that one. Okay, that should be, oh, and the color wheel. Come on. There we are. So now, there we are. Now we got that off. Oh yeah. Now this is pretty clean. It's not too bad, but there you go. Let's get the frame out. Come on. Oops. I gotta remagnetize this. Alright, so I added some magnetism to this. Let's see if it better, any better? Not really. Need a bigger magnet probably. Come on. There. Yeah, it's not picking up anything. Weird. Much better. At least I think it's much better. Let's see. I found a bigger magnet. Come on, screw. There we go. Got it. And this whole thing should come up. That'll have to be cleaned. We're down in here. This will have to be cleaned. Let's get the blower fan out and look. Oh yeah. That's no good. So that'll be cleaned. Here. Look at that. Ratty would like that. Oh boy, all kinds of dust. So this needs a pretty good cleaning. let's pop the optic assembly out and look at the, actually, let me grab, pardon me. Another one. Is there 4? I thought there was only 3. Is that something? No, I was just sticking to the rubber. Sticking to there. So we got this out. Alright. Before we get to that and this, let's check color wheel and the sensor. Let's pop this cover off. Wheel itself looks fine. It's a little dirty. It seems like it's spinning all right. It's looking pretty dusty. Let's check the sensor. Yeah, I can see, if we can get it to focus, you guys can see that dust to the right of where it says TP2. I bet when we take this screw off, we'll find a bunch of dust. Oops. Yep. There you go, now you can actually, there we are, it'll focus there. So what you're seeing here is the actual color wheel index sensor. One side of that shines out an infrared beam and it bounces off the reflective part of the wheel until that black mark passes by, and when it does, it interrupts the beam. But when you have that much dust on it, it can't send out a clean beam and it can't sense a good interruption. So I'm positive 90% that's the issue. Let me go, let me get something to clean that off with. I'll use the compressor and the vacuum off camera to clean out the insides, but this, really just tossing it around's enough, but just get that cotton swab and that's what it should look like. One side's the emitter, one side's the receiver. And there's probably dust in here too. So there's the index mark, ready? There's the index mark on the blue. So reflect, 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 interrupt, tells it when it's at that segment again. That's how it keeps track of where it is for colors. So I'm going to pause the camera and get the air compressor and vacuum and clean the rest of this stuff up. I'll be right back. Alright, so I'm not quite done cleaning yet, but I started cleaning this fan out, and end dust, end dust, end dust, too much end dust. Don't use end dust. I don't blame the owners. They don't know any better. They know what TV tells them. And TV says use end dust because it's for electronics. Whoever is doing that are doing people a disservice. If you see an advertisement for end dust for electronics, ignore it. your electronics will appreciate it. Just trying to get all that loose. I'll finish getting the rest out with some air, and then we'll put it back together. Alright, so everything has been cleaned. I moved the Windex, I cleaned the color wheel very carefully. That's ready to go back in. I've cleaned, just about cleaned that out. Let's just finish that last little bit. Looks good. So first we'll take this, main frame, and zoom in a little bit. Wrong way. There we are. So we'll take this. That goes here. There we go. Let's put that sensor back in place. That's good. I'm gonna hold it here, and then we'll get the shroud. Let me slide that in. There we are. Now the thing to remember is never put any sort of force on the glass. If you notice, I'm holding it and just letting the glass stay free of my fingers. That glass will be incredibly rigid until you touch it just the wrong way, barely once, and then it'll snap. Just because that's how it goes. There we are. Those are back in. Get the optic assembly. Light tunnel looks good. Shroud looks good. This thing got hot. Look at the plastic. Oh, come on, focus. Got hot. It's because of that. What do you call it? That blower fan being so clogged. I'm surprised they didn't have any problems with it shutting off. Oops. Come on. That goes in there. Alright, let's flip that up. This is where the lamp mounts. I'll show you. Put these here. I don't think I've ever really showed this, but when you're dropping the lamp in, it goes in there. Lines up with those. And that's what the color wheel sees looking at it right there. That's where the light should come through. That's why it matters if the bare lamp is straight inside the housing, because if that's off angle at all, it'll heat the wrong area. Sometimes you'll see like burn marks around the edge of the hole. That's because the lamp either wasn't in straight, or the housing wasn't in straight, or the lamp itself wasn't straight. So that goes there. It's ready to go back in. Let me set everything up so we can reinstall it. Okay, so this is all clean. You can see I got all the dust out. This has that same kind of little ballast like the HT2150. I don't know if I have that video up, but if I do, I'll have a link to it, and if not, there will be a link once it is up. So let's put the optical assembly back in. It sits here. Another thing I noticed was how melted that was. Look at that. I mean, not a huge deal, but still it's kind of surprising. That's how hot those lamps can get if they're not getting cooled right. And again, that was because of that fan. It needed a little more, just a little more airflow. It's kind of annoying. The fans will tell you when their speed isn't right, but not when the airflow isn't right. Finding the threads on these was kind of tough. Probably because it got hot. So let's put this one back in. This one goes in the front. So it seems that the trick for finding these holes is being very light on the pressure, so just barely. Right there. Yep. Okay. Those are in, that's good. Now we're going to put the metal frame back in. It'd be really cool if this ends up just really needing a cleaning. If you play your cards right on eBay, you can get decent deals. Sometimes you don't. Sometimes you get bad deals, but sometimes you get good deals. We'll see how this pans out once it's all installed and I have all the, come on wires, stop getting caught. There we go. Get our low voltage, those guys through there. Make sure I'm not pinching anything. Like that, perfect. That's good. We just have to tighten that one down. Move that plastic to the other one. Let's see. Short. 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 Yep. Alright. Then we got this one for here. That's good. So let's get the main board. Once we have enough of this in, it'll be test worthy. We'll be able to test it. Two things to look for. First one is make sure the low voltage pins line up down in there. Then the front, and most importantly the back. So I did something wrong. Hopefully, no, you can't see it. And this is something you got to watch out for with many chassis similar to this one. The low voltage pins are very easy to offset. See those guys up in there? So that's offset wrong. The way I can sort of tell is if you look at the screw holes. See how they're not straight? So it's an easy fix though. We're just gonna lift up a little more. Come on. That won't hook the front too. There we are. And you'll know because the screw holes will be much straighter. Everything will just kind of look more lined up. Okay, that should be good enough for testing. Let's get all the wires plugged back in. There we go. So let me go blow this out and then we'll try it. There we go. I might have that color wheel plugged in upside down. Hey, we have light. HDMI source searching. HDMI source searching. We have a picture. Still starting up. Once it's up enough, I can turn it off. I'm pretty sure that's the problem. Was that dirt? So I'm going to hopefully not have any issues with this after we put it back together. So the next thing we'll do is we'll see about fixing that plastic while this cools down. Alright, so I cleaned the ends off with alcohol. Get all that stuff out of the way. Some air duster just to clean it off. Let's see, what's the first one we're going to glue? Let's do that one. Make sure it gets inside there and doesn't just stay on the outside. All right, that's good. That piece and this piece. I see. Damn it. Better. I'm actually going to go tack this with some heat with a solder tip. Alright, so this is really a pain, and at least the plastic is ABS. Otherwise the super glue would be totally a waste of time. And I gently melted the top pieces here, here, and here. this piece, which I suspect goes here. We'll see though. I wish I could find the rest of it. So I'm going to let this set up. I'm going to go tack these guys with the soldering iron, and I'll be back. There we go. It's better. Not great, but it's better. Alright, I'm going to let that sit and let that set up out of the way where it won't get bumped. Hoping this can go back on without the front. That would be preferred at the moment. Nope, that's going to be a problem. Here's the front. No, actually that'll be all right. Get those clips back down. Yeah, that's all right. When that goes on, that'll go through there so that doesn't get touched. Yeah, alright, that's actually good. So let's see how this goes. Alright, those look good. We have one more, and then the two. We have all the screws for the front left. That's it. There's going to be one here, and then two down there. But this is almost enough to test. Let me just get a paper towel so we can wipe that off. Normally I wouldn't do this, spray stuff directly onto something, but I really want to get that dirt nice and emulsified so it'll come up and off. And I'm just spraying on plastic. It's not like it's electronic. Really, even spraying stuff with electronics isn't that big a deal if you're careful and aware of where you're spraying and what it's hitting and all that stuff. So what I'm cleaning here, I believe, is burnt dust from the lamp assembly that came up. So that's getting better. That back in place. Let's see. Come on. There we are. And then this, I don't know what goes over here. Wi-Fi stuff, maybe? Bluetooth stuff? I don't know. This is just a bad design on BenQ's part. Let's try that again. One of those tabs was not quite in the right spot. Where's the plastic I heard? Alright, I got it. That. Alright, let's try this again. better. Oh, I didn't put the infrared. Oh boy. I didn't plug the infrared back in. I will need to take the whole top off again. Well, that's okay, I gotta clean anyway. Oh, oops. See? I forgot that guy. It's gotta go down through there, so. Let me get that squared away. I'll be right back. As you can see, I routed that wire, so it's ready to put the front back on after the glue dries. I'm gonna let that glue set up real good, but let's just give it a little test. I don't like when these are set for auto on, but you know, whatever. I'll figure it out. I'm gonna do a factory reset on it anyway. Let's see, menu. All right, let's check the lamp hours. Only 1,300 hours? That's not bad. I think I'll leave that lamp alone for now. Or, I mean, I'll replace it, but I think I'll save it at least. Reset all settings. Reset, yes. Because I don't want it to turn on by itself. Let's check the service manual here, or service menu. So let's see. Here's our temperature. That stuff looks good. Error check, detect, set, yep. Lamp blower. That stuff all looks good. Is it this one with the errors? No. Let's see. Total hours 8,073. So this has had a few lamps in it. That's pretty good. So it's good to know the guy got a bunch of use out of it. So this is probably its third lamp, I guess. We've had one lamp fail error, 3 color wheel errors, yep, and then 9 wrong power downs, which would make sense. So I'm going to leave those for now. I'll reset them at some point, but there's all the rest of our settings. We're going to leave all that alone. Back. And the way I get in there, just so you know, is you hit menu and then source and enter at the same time, and then you get that, and then you use arrow keys to move yourself around and that stuff, and then when you're done, just press back, and then there's the normal menu. So I'm going to turn it off, let it cool down, and then let me see about getting this front back on, and then we'll be okay. Very happy so far. I mean, that's a bummer. I wish that didn't look so bad. I mean, it's not terrible, but man, it would have looked perfect if that hadn't happened. It's a shame. I might see if I have a silver Sharpie, maybe I can clean that up a little more. But it's all right, you know. It's gonna. That means somebody else is gonna, you know, get a deal too. So, anyway, let me plug. Let's see. This plugs back in. whole thing will go back in. I will have to pull the door cover off to put that top screw in, so I'm just going to lay that on the front for now. So I'm going to let the glue set up. I'm going to let the glue set up on that front bit, straighten up the rest, and then I'll come back once it's nice and cool, pop the front on, and then we'll bring it to the other area and see how it looks on the big screen. And here we go. Here's the 2150 being tested with my favorite fireplace video, but for whatever reason it's having a heck of a time with the Wi-Fi today. Need to run a wire over here and just hardwire the stupid thing. But anyway, you can see we've got a great picture now. Colors are nice and smooth. This is set at 1080p. I think if I lowered the resolution it would run better, but being that it's a short throw, it's lighting up the ceiling and the walls and all that, but you get the general idea. Nice picture on this thing. I wanted to keep it for myself, but I can't move my mountain wires very easily, so it's going to potentially go to a new home. So if you have any questions about your BenQ HT2150 or the 2050A or 2050, stick it down in the comments. If you need a lamp for this one, check in the description. But most importantly, thank you for watching.